Hi, I'm Carolann from Fortified Health and Wellness, and this audio and all of our work is inside what we call the low carb family. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been with us for a while, I'm really glad that you've taken the time to come back and take a listen. What you're about to hear is a reflection pulling together our January Jumpstart. It was 5 days of conversation about health, support, and learning how to live well inside real life. You don't need to listen in any particular way or idea or take notes. Just listen, and whatever's useful, take it with you and leave the rest. So if you found your way here because January hasn't quite felt how you hoped it would, you're not alone. This week was never about fixing anything or starting over. We weren't trying to rebuild a whole new life in 5 days. We were simply looking at the life that we were already living and asking one honest question. How do I live here better in my body, in this life? How do I live here better? So on day one, we talked about anchors, not rules and not resets and not more lists of things to do, just one steady thing that you can return to when everything feels scattered. Something simple, something simple enough to hold on to on days when they're more difficult or hard, because let's face it, hard days are part of real life. At least they're part of mine, and I think they're part of yours too. On day two, we talked about nourishment and not just about food. We looked at sleep, stress, movement, mental and emotional self-care, because when those things are neglected, food often ends up carrying more weight than it was ever meant to. So nourishment, although we may think at the first hearing of the word, we automatically think of food. There's so much more involved in nourishing our bodies. So on day three, we talked about just the patterns of our day, the schedules and the flow and rhythm that we go through each day. And I think that this is where a lot of us tend to get stuck. Because when plans don't work, we assume, well, I just don't have enough willpower. When really the plan didn't match my life or what was going on the calendar or what I had to, give my energy to. It didn't match up with my plan for my health and wellness. So we talked about flow and arranging our days so they support us instead of constantly asking us to just keep pushing through, which is willpower. And willpower just fades. So we can't build our successes purely out of willpower. Although sometimes we do just need an extra, push that button that says firepower and we can go for another hour or two. But this is more of the idea that I just need to do more. And we really wanted to get away from that. On day four, we talked about awareness. And we didn't want to look at it in a way of judgment or controlling things. We wanted to look at awareness more as a yellow light. So like the warning light, the signal that says, pay attention here when things may need our attention, or, if we let them go long enough, they'll turn into larger problems. So paying attention, and when we notice early, we don't have to clean up larger problems. So awareness will always give us options. And then on day five, we really tried to just focus on all the things that we talked about during the week. We talked about follow through, not so much as homework or things that we needed to do, and not being pressured, but just continuing what we had already noticed about maybe those yellow lights and those things that supported us. So carrying one anchor, keeping one small adjustment, and letting that be enough for now. And what I hope that you take away from this week or from listening here is this. You don't need more willpower. You need support that fits real life. And that's the heart of the low carb family and the work that Jeff and I do here through Fortified Health and Wellness. We focus on steady guidance, real conversation, and personalized support. And whether that comes through live groups or one-on-one coaching, we're both here in supportive roles to guide you on a personal level for the things that you need. So by listening here today, if this series, the January Jumpstart, resonates with you and you find yourself wanting a little more connection or just to clarify things or more individualized support, you're always welcome to support working with one of us. And if today all you needed was a steady voice and a reminder that you're not behind, that's enough too. Take what serves you and leave the rest and come back whenever you need steady ground. Thanks so much for joining us, joining me today. There will be an us in the future. But today was just wanted to share what we talked about this week in our group because it's important. When winter is here, especially where we live, it's dark, the days seem, you know, will we ever see sunlight again? And yesterday, actually, the sun came out for about an hour, and I had to stop and pull over and take a picture just so I could remind myself, yes, the sun did come out today, and it really made a big difference. And so the January Jumpstart is kind of that little switch of the sun coming on for even just for a moment and reminding us that we're in winter and we really can't live like it's summer yet. So thanks so much for being here. Until next time, take care.